Good evening, every pony. This is DJZ coming to you tonight. We will be doing the episode review. I didn't have a fanfic picked out, or planned, or pre-read, or practiced, or anything. I'm just really bad at setting up this whole week-long event. So, yeah. Let's see. Ooh. We are having severe lag. Uh-oh. Is it any better? We have my sound guy on it. Let's see, before I start on episodes. Alright, all better. Good to hear. Alright, so, let's see. We're going to start out our episode reviews with Season 3, the newest season. Of course, we're going to start out with Episode 1 of Season 3. And we're going to go into Episode 2 of Season 3 so that we can get both parts of the Crystal Empire. So, at the end of Season 2, we have Princess Cadance and Shining Armor getting married. And that's basically where we're left off. We don't know where they're going to go, what's going to happen, what they're going to be prince and princess of, or queen and king of, or whatever, until episode 3, or season 3 rolls around. And we see this guard pony charging in. And he's all worried about something. We don't really know what it is. But all we know is that Celestia sends for Twilight and the rest of the ponies. Twilight and let's see. We're having a bit of a let's see. Give me a moment. Let's see if this helps at all. It might just be Skype interfering. So I'm going to try now and see if that's any better. But as we continue, it's still pretty bad. I don't know what else I could do to fix it. Everything is... My internet connection is fine. I don't know. Better? A bit better? I guess just try and hang in there with me. And we'll work through it as best as possible. Sorry if I do cut out. I'm sure everyone who's listening has watched the episodes. So, this is basically just, hard time. But, like I said, so Celestia sends for Twilight to come to Canterlot. And we have no idea. But Twilight, we know she's worried, and Luna is worried because she doesn't know if she can handle this random task. We don't know what the task is yet. But Twilight appears at the castle, and she's ready for this test. But that's not what Celestia has planned for. So she's just kind of like, Twilight, that's not exactly what I have for you. So, Celestia goes into this whole explanation about the Crystal Kingdom. And we're like, what's the Crystal Kingdom? We've never heard of this before. Well, we wouldn't have, because she tells the story of how King Sombra, who will come into play later on, enslaved the Crystal Empire. And this is where I start thinking that, okay, season 3, this is not a kid's show, because there's slavery and dark magic and King Sombra, who's all evil and yeah. So he goes all psycho, enslaves all of the Crystal Pony kind, and Celestia and Luna are like, boom, magic, and get rid of him. But not before he can make the Crystal Empire disappear. Disappears for 1,000 years. I'm not sure what 1,000 years is with this thing, but Luna's gone for 1,000 years. Crystal Kingdom's gone for 1,000 years. Discord's 1,000 years. I don't know. We see a pattern here. Not sure what's coming up next. But anyhow, so there's dark magic everywhere. You know, Celestia does this dark magic and gets rid of it all. And she's like, Twilight, I need you to save the Crystal Kingdom. Huh? Crystal Kingdom? Save the Crystal Kingdom? Celestia wants me to save the kingdom? Yeah, Twilight, she's all confused. She's like, I can't do this. I don't know. I'm afraid I'm gonna fail. Please excuse me. Still getting over a little bit of the sickness here. You know, Luna's all like tough and, you know, not helping at all. Way to be a killjoy, Luna. So, Twilight goes out, and the first musical number, it comes into play. She's singing about she doesn't know how she's going to do this. She thinks she's going to fail. She was prepared for everything magical, but she didn't think it was anything like this. Personally, the song is not my favorite, but it's well executed for being done by Twilight. So, we fast forward through the song, you know, and we get to the Crystal Kingdom. They arrive, and there's this dark monster that chases them until they go through this fortress into the actual Crystal Kingdom, where they find, well, they meet up with Shining Armor. Well, once they meet up with Shining Armor, he's like, go, Cadance needs you. So they get to the castle, and they walk in, and Cadance is all there. She has wrinkles on her face. She's exhausted. For some reason, she perks up and looks perfectly fine. Does the whole sunshine, ladybugs wait, clap her hooves, and do a little shake. And then she goes back to being all tired and wrinkled again. I don't know. Kind of funny, if you ask me. But, so she explains everything, and Shining lost his magic due to the darkness, so her magic is failing. This is where Twilight comes in. Twilight needs to find a way to bring the Crystal Kingdom back to its peak, back to its joy. So then her and her friends go on this mission. Pinkie Pie goes into, you know, spy mode, and she's like, you know, are you a spy? And yes, and all this yada yada. All the ponies are all dull, and Rarity is obsessed with becoming a crystal pony in her daydream. They don't find out anything. So, kind of like, alright, so what are we going to do now? So, of course, Twilight the nerd, thinks the library. There has to be something in the library. Well, they go to the library, and there's this old lady there. And she's like, I don't even know if I work here. But turns out she does. So they spend hours. It's actually just like minutes. But for them, it's hours searching for books about Crystal Kingdom and about this crystal fair. Yeah. I'm having feedback from my side person. Stick to your little job of sound checking. I am throwing in my reactions to some parts, just not everything. I only have a half hour to get through 2 episodes, and each episode is a half hour. Number a lot. It's about the Crystal Fair. And the Crystal Fair is this huge event where the Crystal Ponies just enjoy it. They just enjoy, and they have a crystal heart, and they do jousting. That's when Rainbow Dash is like, "Oh yeah, I'm coming into play." They sing about a flag of many hues. It's only one color. Don't see why it's many hues. They talk about tiny sheep. Adorable. Absolutely adorable. The different foods, different activities, different things. And they sing about using this crystal fair to save the crystal ponies. And of course, Pinkie Pie covers the horn and goes crazy. And yeah, it's just great. It's so much fun. It's a really fun musical number. So it's all upbeat. And they're like, well, let's make a crystal heart, because that seems to be the center of it all. They failed to realize that the crystal heart is an actual crystal heart. You can't just make one. So, we'll get to that in a little bit. So, we are coming up on the very ending of it. And it's basically just them starting the Crystal Fair. There's a lot of activities. It looks like a lot of fun. There's jousting, and they're all really, really happy. And then, Twilight is reading this book, and she's like, okay, I think we have everything. And then all of a sudden, they mention the Crystal Heart. And it's like all this bad stuff starts happening during the Crystal Fair. It's like, what's gonna happen? And then, yeah, pretty interesting point to be like, to be continued. Definitely left us all wondering, and there was definitely mystery there. So that was part one. Part one, I think they did a good job with opening it and with the songs. They had 2 songs that were both well executed, second more favorite. I like how Cadence got her own, kingdom. That was kind of interesting. Because Luna and Celestia's rule side by side, Canterlot. So I didn't know where Cadence would fit in, but now she kind of fits in there. So awesome. She has her own kingdom. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't want their own kingdom? Especially a crystal kingdom. That's pretty awesome if you ask me. Minus the dark magic part. King Sombra, I like his character right now. Except he doesn't say anything. So it's kind of like, what's his backstory? And I'm sure I'm not the only one out there who was wondering about his backstory. So at this point, it's kind of a mystery. Like, I like him. He's got an interesting appeal to him. He looks interesting. I like how he's all obsessed about crystals and he takes over the Crystal Empire. But I don't like we don't have any background. So we go by and part 2 comes out. Fast forward. We do a little recap like we always do with the 2-parters. And then there's the opening theme song. And then we pick up where King Sombra is coming into the Crystal Kingdom. Uh-oh. So he's there. And finally, Cadence is like, alright, one last burst. And the shield goes back up. So now they're worried. They're like, Cadence can't last much longer. We have to find this crystal heart. It's up to you. And Rainbow Dash is like, here, Twilight, let me help you. And Twilight's like, no, I have to do this on my own. And she goes all selfish. No offense, Twilight, but you were really selfish in this episode. So she tells everybody to be like, hey, hide the crystal heart that we made because it's a fake. And if the other crystal ponies see it, they're going to lose hope and they're going to lose happiness and it's all going to be bad. So the other ponies, Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, Applejack, Rarity, well, kind of Rarity. Rarity is all like out there because she's obsessed with crystal ponies and beauty and yeah. Pinkie Pie is there trying to have a blast. So they're all trying to just keep the crystal ponies preoccupied. And then it switches scenes to Twilight and Spike, who have gone on this random mission through the castle to find this crystal heart. And they find the secret passage through Twilight doing dark magic. I do not approve of this scene. Just because Twilight only saw dark magic once doesn't mean she can use it. She does not have a right to. She did not study or learn it. That is Celestia and Luna's only. Sorry for those of you who like it. Just the way I am. So she goes down this dark, spiral hallway. She gets to the bottom. There's a door there. Well, that's nice. She opens the door and she's back in Canterlot. It's like, what's this? Back in Canterlot. Well, King Sombra took over. She failed. And it's Celestia saying, go home to Ponyville. No offense, Celestia, but that's a little harsh. Within moments, we have Spike coming down, seeing Twilight in a trance. She's like, wait a minute. Snaps Twilight out of it. It's a door that shows your worst fear. Makes a little bit more sense now. Once again, Twilight uses dark magic. Do not know how she executes it. But pushing that she's pretty awesome. 20% cooler. She could be a jousting Pegasus. Switches back to Twilight. They're walking up these stairs and they seem to be never ending. Alright, what are we gonna do? Twilight thinks, there's a spell I know. Alright, switches gravity, starts sliding down the underside of the stairs. That is the coolest thing, I think, in this entire episode. Well, second coolest thing. First coolest thing is coming up a little later. Second coolest thing. If I had the magic to switch stairs and slide instead of, like, walk up them, I would use that every day. No lie. I'm pretty sure everyone out there would. Walking upstairs can be so boring and so, like, tiresome. Who's with me? Anyone? So, I'm basically just rambling right now. Sorry. Let's see. Out of the castle and trap Twilight inside. She doesn't have a way to get out, so being selfish, she's like, oh, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, and then she thinks, alright, I'm willing to fail this. Spike, you take the crystal. Okay, Spike's like, but Twilight, no, Spike, you take the crystal. So, he takes the crystal and he starts to rush out of the castle. They're getting all concerned. Spike is running from these dark spikes that are like growing out of everywhere. King Sombra is slowly inching in. And favorite part coming up right here, I think it's a favorite of everybody. Spike lets go and drops the crystal heart. Drops it into midair. The crystal heart goes flying. We're like, oh my gosh, is this the end? Is this it? Is Sombra version? And all of a sudden, whoom! Shining Armor throws his wife into the air. She goes flying up, catches the heart and Spike, all of a sudden has all of her energy, like, regained into her. I don't know another way to put it. One of the crystal ponies yells out, "It's the Crystal Princess!" What? She lands, her cutie mark starts glowing. She saves the crystal heart, throws it into the middle of the underneath where the castle is. It boots up, starts spinning. All the crystal ponies turn crystal again. They all bow to the Crystal Princess. Burst into, I don't know, I guess dust, is destroyed, all except for his horn, which I kind of want his horn to come back in some point or another, just because I don't know what happens to it. I don't think any of us know what happens to it. What happens to his horn? That just hit me. And then it shows all the ponies, and they're all crystallified. Yeah. Fluttershy, gorgeous. I love her crystal pony form. Applejack's pretty cool too. Rarity, she's what she was imagining. Pinkie Pie looks kind of like a hippie. Rainbow Dash is pretty cool. She's got a little flip in the front going on. Cadence has her whole crystal, updo, really pretty. She has a crown and everything. Twilight looks all regal. Spike, he's just like normal, only translucent and see-throughy. Kind of weird looking. But, yeah, it's pretty awesome. So now there's these lights going through the air from the castle, and everyone's happy, and it's saved, and everyone's like, yay, this is the best thing ever, I can't believe we did it. Rarity's all sad because her crystal form is on, they're headed back to the train, and Twilight's like, well, I didn't actually save the kingdom. Spike did. Well, Twilight, I think you just missed that whole point. So they get back on the train and they're heading back to Ponyville. They get back to Ponyville and it starts to show everybody waiting outside, all nervous. And then it switches to inside the castle where Celestia and Twilight are talking. They're going back and forth. There's this giant glass like mural behind Twilight of Spike and the Crystal Heart and the ponies and everything. And it's really, really pretty. Okay, pause for a moment. I just realized, how does something like that happen and then all of a sudden, poof, there's a window for it? Does anybody else realize that? Like, I just noticed that just happened, and there's already a mirror. Well, not mirror, but there's already a stained glass window depicting it. Do they have a pony just standing by making these as things happen? Or is it like made from Celestia and Luna's magic? Or something? I don't know. I'd like an episode where we find out how those are made. Because there's one for Luna, there's one for Discord, there's one for Spike and the Crystal Empire now. This is interesting. I don't know. Oh, the fanfic that was sent to me earlier mentions about the stained glass. Awesome. I will have to get back to you guys on that. But, anyways, back to the episode. So, they finish talking, and the door opens, and Twilight jumps out, and she's like, I passed! And everyone's like, we knew you would! And Twilight's like, I didn't think I would. And then everyone starts singing about Twilight, passing her test and succeeding. And it's a reprise of the song from the beginning of part 1 that I really didn't care for. I don't know. It's just weird. And Pinky's on stilts, being herself. And Fluttershy singing. And Rainbow Dash is singing. And everyone's happy. And it's just great. Like, everything's back to normal, I guess. I guess that's the way you could put it. But, so she passes, and then it shows them taking the train back to Ponyville, and then all of a sudden you see Luna and Celestia, and this book appears. It's like, ooh, book. What's the book? And Luna says, do you think she's ready, dear sister? And Celestia's like, I don't know. And then that's the end. We don't know what the book is. So we're kind of left on a cliffhanger with what's the book. So that basically is it. Yeah. Let me know in comments or whatever how you think I did for this and what other episodes you like to hear. I'm sure I'll get better with this as I go on. But for now, this was my first try, so I hope you enjoyed. I hope it didn't sound like me just babbling on. If this doesn't get good reviews, I might just niche the idea and bring in something else having to do with the new episodes. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So that's all I have for you guys right now. And tomorrow we will have a fanfic reading at 9 p.m., 8 p.m. Central. So join us then. And that's about it. Check out our Facebook page, Mainstream MLP. Stay tuned on Spreaker in case there's any updates. And